Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome to this video. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's doing fine. And I hope the universe is treating you well. We are 7 days into the 11th month of the horrid year 2024 Anno Domini. This has been an expensive year for me and the wife. We had to have culverts put in. We had to have our culverts concreted in, I should say. We've had to have big, massive spraying of the house for termites. We had to have other things going on. Had to buy a $2,500 new riding lawnmower because the other one, the transmission gave up the ghost. It's been an expensive year. I'm glad it's almost over. I mean, these 400 month long years are just, or at least that's what it feels like. God. And yeah, I can't wait till we hit that next year. But on other things, there have been some good things. Let me see. Did a little bit of hiking. We got to do a couple of state park excursions this year, which was nice. And we I don't know what our plans are. I think we're going to try to do one or two next year. Hopefully. But, that's kind of what's going on, personally, personal life type thing. Now, let's shift over to the Penguin. As of recording of this, 7 episodes of that show have been out. We got one more episode to come out this upcoming Sunday. And it's gotten dark. It's one of those ones where you're watching it and you're like, yep, they went there. It is part of, I think in this century, there's been a lot of Batman stuff that's gotten dark. I mean, even way darker than any of Frank Miller's stuff. The Jeff Johns Earth 1 Batman comics get pretty dark. In fact, I think today, when this goes live, also goes live my Gen X video on Batman Earth 1. Originally, I was going to try to do all 3 volumes of that in one video, but I was go through it and checked my time and realized it was almost 30 minutes. So yeah, it'd get a multiple video treatment. That's, and I'll probably do the Earth 1 Superman, Earth 1 Wonder Woman, Earth 1 Teen Titans, and Earth 1 Green Lantern. All great titles. You can Google DC Comics Earth 1 series if you want more information. I kind of give a brief explanation at the beginning of the video I did on Earth 1. I also go into the beginning of the video about how simply because I don't particularly care for something, it's not my cup of tea, doesn't mean I think it sucks. It's just not my cup of tea. That's kind of how that goes. But swing around back to the Penguin. That show is just... You do not have to be a comic book fan to enjoy that show. If you like shows like Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, the Godfather movies, Better Call Saul, that type of thing, that type of genre, that type of mobster, backroom dealing type stuff, this show, you'd enjoy the show. Though you have to take into account for some of the what's it called? Comic book universe logic. This is somebody that dabbles in mycology or mushroom stuff. There's some stuff in there dealing with mushrooms that you're like, okay, we have to do this because of A, comic book logic, and B, the story has to happen. And it's acceptable. It's well done. They explain it away well enough. See, what else did they do? What else? Like I said, I did that Earth 1 video. That did not go as planned. Like I said, I planned on doing all 3 volumes in one video, and that didn't work out. It's going to be a multi-video monster. As probably all the other ones. Here lately, I haven't been able to find a lot of like live action stuff that I'm interested in doing videos on, like movies and stuff like that here. And maybe the weather, because usually in the fall, winter, I get more into my comic books and animated stuff than I do in the summer and stuff like that. So it may be the just time of year. Did one on The Good, Bad, the Ugly. I think it went up Wednesday. Now that is an all-time favorite movie of mine. I watch it whenever I get a chance. I do have it on DVD, so it's just basically whenever. And I believe I also got it through Amazon Prime Video. The director's cut, the full 177 minutes, whereas the Americanized version was edited down to 160 minutes or 166 minutes, something. There's like a 10-minute. They cut 10 minutes or so out for the American movie theaters. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Good, the Bad, the Ugly on the streaming service I'm pretty sure it's Amazon Prime Video has it, is the full 177 minutes. I had the notes in front of me when I did the video, so go watch the video. Though I might do just kind of like an overview of like Star Trek or Star Wars, or actually I could probably do some of the Star Wars live action stuff. That's just pretty good. I did one for Book of Boba Fett here recently. I figure if I can do Book of Boba Fett and do a pretty good video out of my feelings on that, I could probably do like the Alkalite, Mandalorian. Waiting for Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew looks like it might be fun. What else? My brain just stopped. I hate it when that happens. You're thinking, you're chugging along a train of thought, and all of a sudden you just stop. You just kind of pull off into just kind of stop. You don't even pull off onto a side road. You just stop. I might do the actual 9 Star Wars movies. I've gotten over myself on the sequels. They're not, over time they've grown on me. They're not as bad as I initially thought they were, or initially as I wanted them to be as bad. They're not. They're not. And they actually there are bits and pieces of them that have some really redeeming stuff to them. I am a child of the original trilogy of Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Prequels are pretty good. There are some characters in the prequels that kind of but they make them better in the animated stuff, the animated Clone Wars movie and series, the Rebels series, animated series, and they even do a real good job with the Ahsoka. I like the Ahsoka live action. But yeah, I may do Fistful of Dollars, a few dollars more too, just to kind of get away from the cartoon stuff, science fiction stuff for a while. I don't know. It's just this time of year. My wife pointed it out a few years ago, 5-6 years ago. She pointed out that in the winter, I tend to curl up in bed with my comic books more, and during the spring and summer, I tend to crawl up more with my novels and my Stephen King and stuff like that. I might do some Stephen King stuff. The problem is the Stephen King stuff that I would love to do is it would be the graphics. There's a lot of his stuff. There's not a lot of graphics for not a lot of stuff, so it would be like one graphic for like 20 minutes. And I like switching the graphics out, because just looking at the same old area when you're discussing a topic, a story, a movie, or something like that, you just kind of, I like having, the graphics that change out about every minute or so, a little less, a little more, so depending on what's going on. Just to give the viewers something to look at besides me. I don't know how well it works, but yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. Though, like, you have the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, Bill Hodges trilogy, or Mr. Mercedes trilogy, depending on how you want to look at it, which we get introduced to the character of Holly Gibney, who's probably one of my all-time favorite Stephen King characters. They did a 3 or 4 season show on it, that covers the books. And like all of Stephen King stuff, it's just really hard to adapt it to a live action, because so much of it is worded very intelligently, so it fires the synapses in your brain, and it's hard to pin everything down. I know I did The Outsider a while back, and that book is just, don't get me wrong, I love the series. The series is a great series. I like how they translated King's work into the series, but the book is just that much better, and that's kind of a trope or a thing that people go, oh yeah, the book, yeah, they are. A well-written book where the writing is very intentionally, the words, the word order, the sentence structure, all that, if it's done right, will fire your imagination. And because everyone doesn't have the exact same imagination, how it's interpreted is interesting. It leads to a lot of debate, and there are things that they did in the Mr. Mercedes live action series that doesn't sit well with me. It's good. I enjoyed it. Same with Joe Hill's book, Nosferatu. They did a decent enough translation of that into live action, and and that's what it was. It was decent. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Yeah, I really enjoyed even the 11/22/63. They did that is a wonderful book. That is one of King's books that are so much better as an audiobook. I have it in hard copy, and I have it in audiobook. But it is just so much better as a audiobook. Just the way it's structured, the way it's put together. And I think a lot of it has to do with the person who's reading the audiobook. They just do a really good job. And the hard copy is wonderful. Hard copy just feels good to read. That's one of the few times where I would say an audiobook is that much better than the actual written hard copy. Now, the King's Dark Tower series, that's I like holding and reading those books. I like the words. To me, reading those books, the words on the page become the scenery. That might sound weird, and it does sound weird, but but at the same time, the audiobook version is so well done that the written books just barely push those out. And that is the narrator. The narrator who narrated the first 4, maybe 5 books. He died to health because of health reasons. But the especially Wastelands. That is the narrator who reads that it's just wow, awesome, good job. So I should probably break those down. Even though I know I did the Dark Tower movie, but I may sit down and break down the individual books in the series. The movie, go watch that video, because that we won't go into it in this particular playlist. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here, guys. Take care. Be good. Be a good human. Be good to other humans. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?